Hi, and welcome into Real Conversations, a film podcast that seeks to explore the history of the Reel-to-Reel International Film Festival presented by the Cleveland County Arts Council. I'm Festival Director Thomas Manning, and I'm joined today by writer, director, and animator Yuka Nakamura talking about her film The Tiny King, an official selection for Reel-to-Reel 2025. So, Yuka, thanks so much for joining us, and glad we could sit down and chat. We're on opposite ends of the world, but really happy to be talking with you today.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited about this interview.
For sure. And the film The Tiny King, it combines live action and animation. And I know you have a very extensive background in animation. You've worked on in a variety of styles in both Western and Japanese styles. So I'd love to hear a brief overview of kind of what paved the way for where you are right now today and how and why we're talking about The Tiny King.
Sure, sure. So I grew up watching a lot of movies, films. It came from my mom. She made me watch a lot of films. And as long as I remember, I have been drawing for my entire life. And I always knew that I wanted to do something that would combine both, which eventually I figured it might be animation. So yeah, I remember the first film I watched, I think was E.T. Um, and I remember the feeling that I got watching the film, that I was living through the story and deeply connecting and emotionally connecting with the characters. Um, and I think that experience really made me want to do the same for others too. So that's kind of where my core motivation is. And while I was starting to study art, I also um, uh, find myself enjoying studying graphic design. So I think that's also where my illustration style is developed. A lot of like colors and shapes I really love. I think the Tiny King can uh, uh, you can see a bit of like simple shapes and really bright colors, which is kind of my style too. So that's where it comes from. But for animation, as I was studying graphic design, I still wanted to strongly work for films. So I flew to the West Coast from Japan by myself while I was studying and carrying these portfolio, which was actually kind of like a symbol of all the illustrations that I had at the time. Carrying that and kind of pitching myself to studios, and that's when I met Tonka House. It's a animation studio based in Burbank. Um, uh, and they have a lot of formerly Pixar animators and designers working there. So I thought it was a great chance to study about film while using design. Um, and yeah, so as I was learning about, they were kind enough to offer me an internship, seeing my portfolio. So I got to study about a concept design with them, and also being very inspired how designs are in relation to storytelling, which really made me passionate about storytelling, and I wanted to go for that. So I kind of shifted from design to story telling, and that's where I decided that I should work for storyboards. And then I started to work on uh, uh, only Netflix original. It's called animated events apparently, but animation series. And also like Tonka House's short film, Bottle George, and I got to storyboard them. And now I'm taking my next step in working for a position called Inshutsu. in Japanese anime, which is basically similar to like an episodic director. And learning like new process, but the basic is the same for me. It's like to continue to be passionate about storytelling. So yeah, that's where I am right now. Hopefully that explains my background.
Almost definitely it does. And um, with the film The Tiny King, for those listening who haven't seen the film yet, it kind of takes us inside the storybook of their, father reading a bedtime story to his child. And I just recently discovered that there is an actual storybook called The Tiny King. Was that a direct influence on this? Was that the inspiration, or was this something that um, I'd love to hear more about just crafting the story and where that influence was.
That's a great question. I think well the for our film The Tiny King we crafted the story from zero. Like it's completely original. But then obviously if you look up for The Tiny King there are other books that are in relation the story that are representing kings, and there's also the Little Prince, which I also believe that is some part of the reference for the tiny our film, The Tiny King. Um, and I love that all these stories are using the subject of um, this element of the king to kind of like represent your pride, but also sometimes it can be dangerous. I think like in that sense, the our film, The Tiny King, has similarities to to other stories. But our The Tiny King is made from zero. It's a completely original story.
And as far as the animation style, in watching it, I really did feel like I was in the middle of one of the picture books that my own parents might have read to me when I was younger. Can you talk about the process of deciding on the distinct visual style and animation for this?
Mhm. Sure, sure. So, as you mentioned, in the animation part, we wanted to have the character from the storybook come out in the real world, and he is basically traveling across Iori's room. Um, so the background is all live action, but the characters are in animation. So we wanted to keep that illustration book like storybook kind of textures and designs. So we were inspired by like these handcrafted and warm feeling from classic Disney films. We like that dreamy, magical feeling effects that they craft, and I think it really fits the style in our story too. So we spent some time to kind of like break down how those movies were using lightings and colors and what kind of textures they were using, and also exploring like how we can recreate that in digital tools and still keeping the sense of the texture and imperfection of that feels personal, and that storybook like so our goal was to uh, recreate that warm textured feeling and also keep the storybook like illustration designs. So yeah, a lot of classic Disney films were referenced, I think.
I think that's a good point of reference to have for any animator. So, yeah,
Of
yeah,
course, of course.
yeah. And with there's only two actors only in live action in this film. We have Mitsuki Ishii and then Anand Sekaguchi. So I'm curious, how they came onto this film and why do you think they were such a perfect fit and to have them on as the only two actual actors
Mhm.
on screen in the film?
Yeah, great question. Uh, I think it's easier to explain the background a bit for this one, for the production. We this film was actually made through this government funding program, and we were given a 6 months timeline from production to finalize it. That meant a lot of decisions had to be made quickly for time, and that was challenging for us, but also very exciting in a sense of um, like we were pushed to trust the collaborative process um, with people and making creative choices efficiently, which is a great challenge for me as a director. So I think casting the live action crews was one of the areas where the time was limited. Um, and since this is actually my first time to work on a live action film and shoot a live action film, I also didn't have really much connection to the field. But one of my producers that worked on the film, she had a connection with a live action shooting field. So she managed to assemble the crew that would fit for the film. And she had a great casting uh, for Iori, the boy. So I had a quite vivid, a clear image, like what kind of character I wanted him to be. I think a lot of myself is reflected in this character and how he talks, and I had a vivid image. When I heard uh, Mitsuki Ishii's voice, I immediately know that he would be a great match. And the way he talks, like this really cute child, like stuttering talk, I love it. I thought it was perfect for the character. And on top of that, what surprised me was like once we started the shooting, he was very professional. He remembered every single line, and every we brought in the full animatic for the reference for the stories, and he remembered every single scenes. And he was very professional. He didn't hesitate in stepping into the character once we started filming, which was very surprising for me too. And for the dad, which is played by Anam Sekiguchi, he was introduced from my producer, and we weren't able to provide like a full table read, a time to table read, or to develop or preparation for the characters. We weren't able to uh, provide those times enough for him, although he still delivered a very grounded and warm performance. And during the break times, like off camera, he kept Mitsuki he kept like reading books and keeping him company. And I think that really shows on screen too. Like it's very believable that they have this like bond as father and son, which was remarkable to see. So a lot of miracles on top of miracles happened for the live action casting, I believe. But I think a lot comes from their professionals, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and within the story of this film, the mother is out of town, so and that's why the father is reading the bedtime story.
Yeah.
But over the credits, we do hear the voice of the mother, and we never saw her face. So I
hmm
thought that was a really interesting decision to just finally hear her there at the end. Was that always your intention, or was there ever a point where you thought you might actually show her on screen?
Yes. So another great question. So this we had a lot of discussion about this decision. We obviously had ideas for showing her in the beginning, or maybe having it explained in the story, like why she's away. But in the end, we so just to briefly explain what her story is we don't see her in the film, but behind the scenes, there is actually her story, which is it's her first day returning to work. So that's why Yori is kind of facing the situation to be alone at night, which is kind of new for him. And the same goes to dad, which is like he needs to be responsible taking care of the his kid at night, and which is also something unfamiliar for him to do. So I think we wanted to not show her face to kind of emphasize the child's perspective, Iodi's perspective, to feel that loneliness and not having his mom at night, and that's a sense of absent. So we decided not showing her in the scenes, but we also wanted to uh, um, uh, we also decided to keep her present from the voice in the end credits, which is actually the message of this film is that we wanted to give a gentle reminder that even when someone isn't like physically there, their love and the support still remains. So I hope that shows in the end credits.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. I really do. And another aspect that really stands out throughout this film is the music from Zach Johnston and Mateo Roberts, and it kind of carries us throughout the whole film. Um, so I'd love to hear about your collaboration with them and um, from your perspective, what it was about their music that made such an impact on the project.
hmm Yeah, sure. So uh, I first discovered Zach and Mateo's work while I was working on Oni. They were working on the musics. And we didn't really directly collaborate at the time, but I was a huge fan of theirs from then. And I remember that the director of Oni Dice, he mentioned that they were incredible with creating music that could truly reflect the characters and support the storytelling, which I feel like music is also takes a huge role in storytelling. So um, I really love that they were passionate about that. And so for this film, The Tiny King, we had this a simple concept or idea for the music, which was to have a core musical theme for this character, the Tiny King. And from that chord or motif develop the rest of the score uh, for for the other scenes. So yeah, we thought like why not just let's just take a shot and maybe ask them if they were interested to collaborate. And you know, asking is free, so we just reached out to Zach and Matteo, and they were luckily they were interested in the idea. So uh, we started by discussing what the main theme song or melody could be for the Tiny King, the character. It's like really simple, basic chords. Um, and to represent this storybook-like feeling, we also wanted to bring in instruments that can be inspired by children's toys. So a lot of like maybe xylophones or bazookas in it, and something really playful. And Zach and Matteo brought this vision to life beautifully. It's and Personally, I also enjoyed this creative process that we took after deciding this theme melody. We took some time to kind of break down the story and explore these emotional tone for each scene. And Zach and Matteo, they were both incredibly thoughtful in how they used the music to support the scenes and the world that we were building. That was a very nice collaboration.
Yeah, I love what you said about how it doesn't hurt to ask, because that's kind of a philosophy that I apply to a lot of things in my life. And it's what I apply to, inviting people for interviews. I wasn't sure if I would be able to get you on for this conversation, but
Oh.
hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. So I think that can be applied to many areas of our lives. And as we wrap up here, just talking, broadly about the impact of film festivals. I'm sure for you, it probably film festivals like Reel to Reel, have a unique place for you to reach audiences like our audience here in North Carolina in the United States, which is a little bit of ways away from where you are in Japan. So
Mhm.
what does that mean for you to have your work and have your art reach people all around the world through the medium of film festivals?
Oh, um, yeah. So first off, just to briefly share, this was my very first film, and I just like applied to a bunch of other film festivals, and but you were the first one to select our film, which oh, we are very grateful and honored to be selected and honored to be allowing our film to be seen to the international audience. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And yeah, to me, I think I did go a lot. I have a lot of thoughts going in my mind about film festivals and like really passionate about it. But just to share maybe some part of my thoughts is that so I've been working as a storyboard artist for American animated productions, and more recently I started working for Japanese anime, and in being involved in the industry, it allows me to build skills and allows me to see how productions are made from the early beginning, how the plans are made, how the storyboards, the plots are built, and how they how the process is taken to build the film and how to finalize them as a product. And that definitely uh, allowed me to uh, build the skills that I need to reach my dream which is to become a film director. Um, but at the same time, uh, like The Tiny King, making a film from scratch for myself that comes from inside me, building the story, um, coming up with these ideas and filming with a team, guiding everyone towards this shared vision is where I truly get the experience what it means to direct. Um, and more than anything, it reminds me why why I want to do this and what is my passion. So I feel like film festivals are important because they bring people who are passionate about filmmaking and to have this film seen by those international audiences is incredibly motivating for myself. And it really encourages me to keep creating my voice as a storyteller and makes me believe in myself to following my passion. So, in that sense, I am very grateful to have this opportunity.
Well, we are talking with Yuka Nakamura on Real Conversations, director of The Tiny King. And Yuka, we can't thank you enough for your time and for your film. Really excited to be showing this to our audience here, and hopefully more and more audiences around the world get a chance to see it. So just thank you for your time and for your obvious passion for this work. And hopefully we stay in touch and show more conversations in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope everyone would enjoy this film and it would be like a small reminder for your own special moments with your close ones and close families.
And for those listening, we hope you join us for the Reel to Reel Film Festival. It is July 23rd through 26th at the Joy Performance Center in Kings Mountain. You can see The Tiny King and many more films. Hope to see y'all then. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.